Well, I'm Brad Talton, and this is Drew and John, and we are going to teach you how to play Pixel Tactics.
Yeah.
Now, Pixel Tactics is one of the games that's currently on our Mini Games Kickstarter, along with all these other fabulous games that you can get. So please check out the game and enjoy the tutorial. So to start off, you guys are both going to shuffle your decks and draw up 5 different cards. There are 25 cards in each deck, and each deck is completely unique, so there are no duplicates. However, the 2 decks are identical, so you both have the same 25 cards at your disposal. So, if you take your hand and you flip the characters upside down, you'll see that they have a leader side. The leader side has a red ribbon at the top. And each leader has a leadership ability that will affect all the heroes in your unit. So, go ahead and pick a leader, and that leader will affect the performance and overall disposition of your entire unit during this particular match.
Okay, I've chosen mine.
I have chosen mine.
Alright, so you both go ahead and reveal. Alright, so, and the leader that you've created, or that you've recruited, now becomes the core of your unit, such that there are 8 separate slots around your leader, like this. The first 3 are your vanguard, the middle 2 are your flank, and the final 3 are your rear. So heroes that you recruit will have different abilities based on where they're at. So, why don't you go ahead and introduce your leaders and tell us what powers they have.
I am Vanna Kalmor. I get to reorganize and clear corpses for free.
I'm playing Zamasil, and he has a ranged attack, and all the heroes in the unit also have ranged attacks.
All right. So better get some blockers.
I better intercept those.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and decide who goes first with our handy first player marker.
This is very high tech.
We will, yeah, this is very high tech, very cutting edge stuff.
So who does it point to? Sword points at me.
Yes. So the game happens in waves, and your first wave will be activated first.
All right.
So you get 2 actions per wave, and then it'll be Drew's front wave. And then we'll go to the flank wave, rear wave, and then first player will switch. So on your in the front you have 6 possible actions you can do. I'll kind of teach them as they come up. But the first and most important action on your first turn is to recruit. And to recruit, you take a hero on its hero side, the blue ribbon, and play it into the current wave. So this turn you can only play into the vanguard. So go for it. You have 2 actions.
Okay. My first action, I'm going to go ahead and pick a gunner. Seems appropriate for a ranged unit. So I can put him in any one of the 3 columns, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put him here, and he has a ranged attack, and it does 3 extra strength against intercepting heroes.
All right. So people who can block are in trouble against him.
So I do extra damage against guys with shields.
Yes.
That's super cool.
And you have 1 more action. So the second kind of action you can take on your turn is to draw a card from your deck.
Well, I don't really like these other heroes, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw.
And there's no hand limit, so if you wanted to just draw up and dig for your favorite card or the cards you need to complete your strategy, you'll have a more solid, cohesive unit. But the player who builds a ragtag team really fast will have the speed advantage on you in that case.
Let's go for speed advantage.
And then I'm done with my turn.
So it becomes Drew's Vanguard wave.
I will throw down my Pyromancer.
Ooh.
She just kind of like hits everyone in the column.
Mm-hmm. Or attack hits the
She attacks
first
all
person in
3
each
columns
column.
at the same time.
Oh,
For 3 damage.
I want that card.
You got one.
It's true.
All right.
All right.
I'll trade you for your...
And
your-
then you have a second action?
I don't want to put down an interceptor anymore. I will draw.
You'll draw 2? Alright.
All right. So now we're on to John's flank. And so he can recruit into the flank here, or draw more cards. The third thing that you can do with your units is to play them as an order. The order is the purple effect here at the bottom. And when you use an order, you play the card, read the order effect, do it, and then it goes to your discard pile out of the game for the rest of the game. So orders are typically pretty powerful, but they're single-use effects.
Well, I've got a pretty crazy one I want to try. I've got an order effect. I'm going to use my Summoner's Order effect. And what he lets me do is he lets me search the deck for any card. I can show it to you, and then I just put it in my hand. So I'll do that real quick. I know exactly which one I want. I want this one.
Oh, you don't want that.
So I revealed the Dragon Mage. So now
Right.
he goes into my hand.
I think that's the highest attack power unit in the game.
He's so cool. Oh no, she's so cool.
And she's ranged.
And then for my second action, I'm going to go ahead and place down a Mystic. I'll put my Mystic behind my gunner. She has 2 extra strength, and she takes 1 less damage from attacks when she's in this row.
Actually, this is Forerunner has +2 strength, so your gunner goes up to 7 strength.
Oh, so she boosts the power of the people in
Right.
the same column as
Yeah.
me.
Flank heroes typically provide support bonuses to either the people in front of them or behind them.
Just as planned. And then I will end my turn.
Very good, sir.
Alright, so we're on to Drew's flank.
I will. Forerunner just means the person in front of you.
Yes. So if you play the one here, they have no Forerunner because nobody's there.
I see. I will go ahead and put a healer down.
Alright.
She allows me to heal up to 4 damage from any other hero
Alright.
as her action. I will then also put down a doppelganger.
Alright.
And in the flank, he copies the attack ability of any other flank hero, which would be
Just the healer.
just the healer. It doesn't copy that guy?
No, he only copies alternate attack abilities, so activated effects like the healers heal 4 damage.
So you basically have 2 healers here.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
As super planned.
All right, so now we're in the rear.
Yep.
All right.
Indeed.
And then I'm going to go ahead and summon another guy.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and have the Dragon Mage in the rear here.
Alright, so your summon spell finally completed.
It was a big summon spell. It's a
Yeah,
very
you
big,
know, you
powerful
have a
creature.
cinematic off in the background.
And then, just to be a jerk, I'm going to go ahead and play my Paladin's Order ability, which lets me freely rearrange my opponent's heroes. So does that mean I can move these characters to any
To
other...
any configuration you like.
Can I move all of them?
Yes.
That is really powerful.
It is quite powerful.
Well, let's go ahead and...
Keep in mind, anyone you move to the rear will be able to attack this turn.
That's
From the
true.
rear.
That's true. So what I'll do is I'll move the healer and the doppelganger up front, and I'll move the pyromancer behind the doppelganger.
Alright.
Can I do that?
Yes, that
All
works
right.
fine.
Yeah. Just so you know, the pyromancer does have range attack.
That's okay.
Alright.
In the
So that was your
I'm a
second
very
action.
brave
So
person.
now it's Drew's rear.
my rear. Let's see what I can do. I'm going to draw a card, and I will put an assassin in my back row.
Alright.
He automatically does 3 damage to the opposing leader.
Right now?
No.
Oh,
Every
but as
turn.
an action.
As an action.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So then the play passes to Drew's Vanguard row, and now that your heroes have been in the row since the beginning of the wave, they're able to make attacks.
Please don't hurt me.
I will attack the gunner with my doppelganger,
All right.
doing 3 damage.
All right.
And I will also attack the gunner with my healer,
That's-
doing 1 damage.
That's improper usage.
The healer attacking?
Yeah.
Yeah. He just takes his wand and just like...
I guess so. Just whack him with the medical bag.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
the unit doesn't die. The hero doesn't die just yet. It dies at the end of the wave. So when this moves, everybody who has lethal damage will then die. So John still has a chance to counterattack with his gunner or heal his gunner before the next wave.
So I get
begins.
one dramatic last shot.
Yes.
But that's exactly what he's going to do. He gets to do a ranged attack, and he does extra damage against intercepting heroes, and the healer is intercepting, so he will attack. It's 5 plus 3, and he's got support from the rear, from the flank, so it is a total of 10 damage!
All right. The healer absorbs 2 of that.
The
from
healer
her
does absorb
ability.
2.
So she takes a total of 8.
Krakow!
Yeah.
And
All right.
then for my second action, I'll draw a card and watch
All
the
right.
healer die.
And so, with their
I'll
last
watch your
breath,
gunner
our
die.
casualties occur, and now we have 2 corpses on the field. So corpses prevent you from recruiting new units on top of the corpse, which can make it easier for your opponent to make melee attacks against you, and also harder for you to defend because you need an action to clear and an action to play a new hero.
Unless you're Vanna Calmore and you get free.
Yes. So
You played
Drew's
right into
leader can
my
clear corpses
hands.
for free, so she can create a much more relentless assault with that ability. So it is
my
Drew's flank wave.
flank. And then I believe I will attack you with my Trapper for 4 damage.
Attack
To
me.
your hero. Or your leader.
To my leader.
Alright, so the last 4 damage, that puts Zamasul over his 19 hit point limit. And John will still get to do his first wave, so
Right.
you still get to complete your turn.
So let's see if I can pull some healing out from somewhere. And I don't have anything in my hand that heals, so
You could draw for it.
I will. Yes, I will draw as an action, and then I will. No, that's about it. So I'll just for last kicks, I'll have my attacker, my mystic attacker.
Alright, so there's your pity,
There we go.
pity damage. So, what happens is John's leader dies, and the entire unit goes into rout. So, Drew has won this game. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Drew.
Good game.
And so
you played
now
valiantly.
so now that we've reached the end of the match, Drew will claim John's leader as a trophy over here.
Oh, I'm going to put it up on my
Then
wall.
the 2 decks would reshuffle, and we would play into match 2 if we're doing a best of 3, or we would just call that a game if we were just playing a shorthand. So that's how a game of Pixel Tactics runs.
Do you still get the trophy if you're only playing 1 game?
Yes, but you have to give it back immediately because the game's then over.
Oh.
So
For a brief moment, I had your hand.
if we were playing a best of 3 though, John would get an extra card for each trophy that Drew has, and Drew would get an extra card for each trophy that John has at the beginning of the game. So you have a slight handicap advantage in successive games.
So he'd start with 6 cards next game.
Right. So he'd have more leader choices, and he'd have an extra card in his hand at the beginning
Interesting.
to use. So thanks for watching the video, and I hope you'll pick up a copy of Pixel Tactics on Kickstarter and try it out for yourself.